Welcome to the Science of Longevity, exploring the 4 pillars of lifelong health. Today, we're going to introduce the 4 pillars of lifelong health and explain why achieving balance across each of these pillars is crucial for living a long and healthy life. In future videos we are going to dive deeply into each of these areas, but for now we will introduce the 4 pillars, understand why they need to be in balance. And finally we'll discuss the number 1 strategy for applying the 4 pillars to truly improve our health and lifespan. Pillar 1 is physical health. This is the most obvious pillar, but it is not all obvious. This pillar includes practices like getting enough sleep, staying hydrated, eating a healthy diet, and engaging in regular physical activity. On their own, they seem obvious, but how they interrelate is often the key between successfully benefiting from these, or failing to create lasting breakthrough. Another way to look at this is, what happens if our body is deprived of what it needs? For example, if our body is deprived of oxygen, it would die within minutes. Without drinking water, we would only be able to survive for a few days. Without sleep, we could only survive hours before we experience significant impairment to our ability to function. Within days, we would develop serious health conditions and eventually death. Without food or nutrition, we could survive several weeks, but we would experience progressively more serious consequences of malnutrition, eventually leading to organ failure and death. Does this order change what we prioritize? Is nutrition the most important? What about the importance of movement or breathing techniques to get high levels of oxygen into our body effectively? Or the impact that sleep truly has on our body? What if we only partially deprive our bodies of these things, but do so consistently over an extended period of time? We go into these in more detail with actionable steps in our next video. Moving on to Pillar 2, mental health. This pillar encompasses areas such as mental clarity, the dangers of mental open loops, and how to clear them, as well as much more. We will look at how we can physically strengthen the important areas of our physical brain, just like we can with our muscles, to develop superior mental capability with easy daily habits. You have likely heard about the neuroplasticity of the brain, but have you considered that this is happening to you every day, for better or for worse? This is something we must be aware of, because it happens to us, sometime for our benefit and sometime to our detriment. When we are aware of this and intentional about what we allow to mold our physical brains, we can create transformation in our mind, body, emotions and personality through easy daily tricks. We explore this in more detail in an upcoming video. Pillar 3 is emotional health. This pillar includes practices like cultivating positive relationships, expressing gratitude, and engaging in activities that bring joy and excitement, just to mention a few. However, what may surprise you is the impact that this pillar has on your physical health and length of life. Research has shown that emotional health affects the immune system, hormone levels, and overall bodily function, which influences the development and progression of chronic health conditions. For example, chronic stress can lead to increased inflammation in the body, which is linked to a range of health problems including heart disease, diabetes, and autoimmune disorders. Similarly, depression and anxiety are linked with an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. On the other hand, positive emotions like happiness, gratitude, and optimism are linked to better health outcomes and increased lifespan. Overall, prioritizing emotional health and well-being can have significant benefits for physical health and lifespan. As a bonus, can you start to see how all of the pillars are connected and why it is important to have balance? Neglecting even just one of the pillars can radically undermine the investments made in any of the other pillars and in turn, our lifespan and health span. Finally, Pillar 4 is spiritual health. The term spiritual does not speak specifically to religious spirituality, but neither does it exclude it. This pillar of spiritual health encompasses concepts such as finding and living your life's purpose, making meaningful contributions to the world, and connecting to something greater than oneself. Pillar 4 is dedicated to helping anyone achieve the end goals of purpose and fulfillment, through whichever means a person aligns with best. A concept such as purpose may at first seem unconnected to health and lifespan. However, research has shown that people who have a clear purpose live longer and have a lower risk of developing chronic health conditions such as heart disease, stroke, and Alzheimer's disease. People who have a clear purpose naturally engage in healthy behaviors, such as exercise and healthy eating. They also tend to avoid negative behaviors or distractions like smoking and excessive alcohol consumption. In addition, having a sense of purpose can help people better manage stress and cope with adversity. Most importantly, having a sense of purpose can provide a sense of fulfillment and happiness, which can improve overall well-being and quality of life. Again, we can see that cultivating a sense of purpose in life can have significant benefits for all the pillars of physical, emotional, and mental health, contributing to a longer, healthier life. In an upcoming video, we go into more detail on this with practical guides on how to discover or cultivate a strong sense of purpose, contribution, and meaning. We have now looked at the broad topics for the 4 pillars of lifelong health, and we have seen how they are interconnected and how neglecting just one pillar can significantly undermine investments in the other pillars. So, as well as seeking balance between the pillars, what is the number 1 strategy for applying the 4 pillars for best results? The number 1 strategy is simple: just do one small thing better today than you did yesterday, until the habit gets moved to autopilot. The first thing to remember is that everyone is at a different level for each of the pillars. The danger is to try to do too much too quickly, get overwhelmed, or try to make too big a change too soon. The most important factor to prioritize is consistent progress with small steps. We go into this in more detail in an upcoming video of how to choose which area to focus on and what size of step to take. But for now, just pick one small thing you can do today that takes you one step forward from where you were yesterday. Perhaps this is just standing up and moving more regularly during the day, or removing one unhealthy food choice today that you would normally have. Please share any ideas you have with the community. Thanks for tuning in to The Science of Longevity, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.